Hello, Azure Lane community. So, I have heard a bunch of people. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a nice Batman bathrobe that I got for Christmas. It feels like a warm hug wrapping around my entire body. It also suits me because I am the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane. In any case, so I get a lot of, I've been scrolling through the Reddits and a lot of comments on some other Azure Lane videos, and there's a bunch of people asking, you know, how do I farm these Hellcats? You know, because everyone is trying to farm D3 as much as they can, and someone, you know, in the Reddit mentioned this method that I use that I didn't know anybody else was using. So this right here is what we are all trying to get. F6F Hellcat VAR mounted, which is incredibly effective against light armor. So I'm going to show you my farming technique for getting these. But keep in mind, you should only do this after you have gotten everything you want out of the shop. Alright, here we go. D3. Now, I, for the most part, have been using Yorktown to farm, mainly because, for one reason and one reason only. I'm trying to raise up her affinity to max already, because you only get those blessings from the shrine every now and then. So, you only need 2 ships, one as your main, one as your vanguard, and they don't even have to be that strong. All they gotta do is survive the first 3 bosses of the event. Alright, so look. By the way, Royal Fortune is my favorite sub now in the game. You know, sub. Alright, here we go. So, these little mini bosses, if you fight them, you get a shot at getting one of these blueprints for the far-mounted Hellcats. I know I said I would get rid of Nox Player. Nox Player is annoying as all hell. But another thing is, I know Yorktown costs a lot of oil. She costs like 15 oil to use. So I would recommend not using Yorktown for this. I would recommend using maybe... Oh wait, shout out to Chemo Cheese, by the way, because I do watch his channel sometimes. Chemo Cheese uses a unicorn that's not even limit broken, which is very cheap. I'll admit that's a very cheap method of using oil. Oh, whoop. Okay, so okay, I swear I need to get rid of Nox Player. But anyway, so all you gotta do is kill the first 3 bosses. Kill the first 3 bosses. Alright, so yeah, these little enforcer, I think they're called like the enforcer temptation, and then the enforcer something else. Okay, it's never been this bad. I'm struggle streaming right now. Someone's sitting there like watching this going, man, who put this together? What is going on over here? Man, them fighters look tiny in Nox Player. It's like they shrunk the planes down to like itty bitty. Wow. Okay. So. Okay, I did not get any, but oh yeah, I got Yorktown's affinity up every time I do this. And I have been using that blessing from the shrine that raises affinity, and it has been incredibly useful. Last I checked, my Yorktown's affinity was at like 198. Alright, round 2. Here we go. Oh, wait. Okay, I guess Royal Fortune. I have her set to fight. Which I think is incredibly cool. Royal Fortune can launch a cannonball from under the depths of the ocean. Yeah, I gotta say, these backgrounds have been getting interesting. The loading screens. They've been like, you know, whoever makes these loading screens was let's say one of the kings of fan service. Yeah, I would say use lower cost oil ships for this when you do it, because I have just been oh, by the way, like, I use light cruisers the most, so that's why I'm using San Juan, because she gives +1 reload, and I've already maxed out the firepower stats of that you could get from the tech points for my light cruisers. So every one of my light cruisers has +45 firepower. So it's almost like they have an extra gun's worth of firepower on all of them when I use them, which is, I have to say, amazing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the planes are tiny. Look at that. Nox player, what are you doing? This is almost like a graphics problem. See, and then it clears up right when the victory happens. Okay, so I did not get a blueprint there either. But you can get little blueprints from these guys. That's it. As soon as this video is over, I'm downloading BlueStack. Oh, I also have my cup of coffee. I cannot forget that. Coffee's just over here chilling. Ah, yes. Coffee. The gift from the gods. Ah. Ah, thank goodness. Merry Christmas. Alright, now one more. I swear, coffee. There was someone saying, if you remove coffee from your morning routine, you can actually kill about 50% of the joy you experience in the morning. I mean, that was just that person wasn't a doctor. I don't know if they were, but I think they knew what they were talking about. It's like, yes, coffee in the morning is sometimes it's the motivation I have to get out of bed. Look, get out of bed early, among other things. All right, San Juan usually, you know, she actually doesn't have as much health whenever I get to the third boss, because San Juan is a pretty weak light cruiser. But I would try to upload the firepower and the reload of all my light cruisers to max, so that they'll all be like mini machine guns when I try and use them. And I have my carrier's AVI and reload almost maxed out too. As you can see, I am a light cruiser and carrier-oriented player, and the USS faction is totally my favorite faction, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that at one time I was in the US Navy. Okay, I did not get any blueprints from that either. Alright, so this is what you do right here. Instead of fighting your way through the rest of this stage after you have knocked out these three, and then trying to get the blueprint from the boss, all you got to do is this, and hit the retreat button. Save your oil. Oh, I gotta wait for it to load. Hit the retreat button. Save your oil from having to do all those other fights that have no chance of giving you a blueprint Hellcat. And then re-enter the stage right at that point and just keep fighting those same three bosses. this has been my method for farming. Yep, here we go again. Just saying, fight these 3 bosses, because each one of them gives you a shot at getting an F6F Hellcat HVAR mounted, you know, blueprint. And I have done this when I have had 0 oil. I did this a couple events ago, and that's why I have good French guns. I had 4 French DD guns before that event was put in the archives, which now you can farm them in the gear lab. So I mean, you know, it's not like the thing is, I had those guns for the longest time when you couldn't get them, which felt pretty good. And yes, I did use them. All right, yeah, and then you just keep fighting these 3 over and over again, and eventually you will get a blueprint from one of these guys. I was trying to get one. I was trying to do one of these where I killed one of them and got the blueprint so that you could see it. But yeah, as long as you keep fighting these 3 mini bosses and then just retreat and keep fighting the mini bosses over and over again, you burn through so much less oil, and every fight you engage in has a chance of giving you a blueprint. So none of your oil is wasted. But then again, you won't get obviously you won't get the shop points at the end of the event when you fight the boss. So I already extracted everything I wanted out of the shop, and now I'm just here for blueprints. And I've been getting them. I'm also here for Yorktown's Affinity, which I don't know if it's maxed out yet, but using the shrine, it should be almost maxed out. Actually, wait, let me check that first real fast. Okay, I'm gonna wait for it to load. I'm gonna sip my coffee. I gotta say, I hope to God that in heaven there's coffee. Alright, let me see her affinity level, because I've been farming this affinity using them blessings. Yep, 198 still. So my Yorktown is almost at max affinity. And when she is, maybe I'll do a showcase video. Who knows? Alright, anyway, that is my farming tip for D3. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I wish you all a very Happy New Year. Take care.